we often forget that we are made up of trillions of cells, like 30 odd trillion cells, depending on how big we are. And cells need four things to thrive. Like every part of our body is made up of cells. They need four things to thrive. Oxygen, number one. Water, number two. Nutrients, number three. And the ability to eliminate waste is number four. And a lot of us are going wrong at number one because no one's moving anymore because of sedentary lives and sat at desks or on couches all day long. So the number one reason for chronic disease can actually be under-oxygenation of cells. Then the water is mostly toxic because it's dead by the time it gets out of your tap or faucet if you're in America. There's all these chemicals and hormones and antibiotics and all this rubbish. Water, which is why I've invested in a decent water machine. And then there's nutrients. And by the time we've actually eaten a lot of what we're eating, it's depleted of nutrients because quality of the soil has really diminished. And then there's all the pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and insecticides. And then there's cooking. And then there's all these different things that affect the nutrient capacity of the food that we're eating. So, and a lot of us aren't really eating to think about the nutrient capacity of the food. We're eating to become full. And I said this in the last Facebook Live, actually, is an expert on Food Matters, on the documentary Food Matters. They said, we're stuffing our faces and we're starving. We're obese and we're starving because none of us are thinking about the nutrient capacity of the food. So number three, we're not getting enough nutrients. So we're developing all this inflammation, all this toxicity, which is another word for inflammation. And then four, because cells require, as you were saying earlier, they require heat, and the lymphatic system requires that your body raises temperature a bit, and the lymphatic system requires us to move.
It requires locomotion, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The lymphatic system is part of the immune system, which is responsible for getting rid of dead cells, dead cancer cells, dead everything, not nice stuff in the body. And our body has to move. We have to be active for that to work. And a lot of us don't realize that. Like with the cardiovascular system, the heart and blood vessels and arteries, etc., that has the pump, which is the heart to get it around the body, but the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, so it requires movement. And then we have heat, which is what you're specializing in, which is another way to detoxify the body, which is what the lymphatic system does, and detoxifies the body. So I just wanted to interject because I think I love simplifying things. And when we look at just the fact that we're made up of cells and they require those four things, I think it's much easier to be more mindful about the choices that we make with our diet, with movement, with getting enough oxygen into our lungs, and really trying to stay away from the toxins as much as we can. And then we look to people like you for ways to really optimize the cell health, look at ways of, the sauna. So I hope that was cool to interject with that, but
it is important to keep it simple. We're overloaded with information. Light is very simple. Light is the ultimate nutrient. It energizes your cells. It promotes cellular healing. It has all these effects that we're discussing, this mitochondrial activation. So people need to think of light as a nutrient. And so we want the best quality light that we can get, and we want it every day, just like we want the best quality ingestible nutrients. Light is eaten by the cells directly. It doesn't have to be put into your mouth. You just shine it on your naked body, and it gives you energy, and it activates all these healing systems. Very important for daily maintenance, daily restoration of a cell. So light, and heat too. That's a little bit, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But the cell is designed to get heat every day. It's designed to get this little heat shock every day, which is just raising cell temperature 3 degrees, and you have all these wonderful detoxification responses that occur when you do that. So the lymphatic system is the sewer system of the body that you'd mentioned. That's crucial for getting the toxins, once they're out of the cell, to the organs of elimination, getting them out of the body. But the first step is getting the toxin out of the cell.